up? Welcome into your Daily Buckeye Blitz for a Tuesday. Hit you with two yesterday. It was a two for Monday. No, today's just a regular one show, probably, unless somebody pops. We got June 25th, 2024 is what the calendar says. We're talking recruiting again today. We got to recap this final official visit weekend that just finished up this past weekend. And we've got some interesting tidbits, tricks and trinkets and whatnot. But hey, please hit like on this video if you're enjoying the content. Hit subscribe. You'll get notified every time I have a new video out, and it's free of charge. There's no string attached, not a one. So let's get into this recap. We got to talk about some big names, big names we've been talking about for months. David Sanders, let's start off with the big headliner, the big man, 5-star, 6'6" man. So there were a ton of important visitors this weekend at Ohio State, but the 5-star David Sanders is the most important. Could be Justin Fry saving his job, you know. So Sanders and his family, they've grown more and more comfortable at Ohio State over the last few months. And that was the priority for the Buckeyes this weekend. Continue that familiarity and comfort. There's plenty of time with Justin Fry and the parents of other recruits, so they got to socialize with other parents, especially Team Sanchez, the parents of Devin Sanchez, the defensive back out of Texas. A lot of time, and they are the best recruiters. They should be on freaking payroll for Ohio State. David Sanders was hosted by Deontay and Devontae Armstrong, so a couple of fun-loving guys. The concern over Columbus being too far has been completely dispelled by the Ohio State staff, and each visit to Columbus proves that. So everything's going right for the Buckeyes in this recruitment since early spring. Now Justin Fry and Ohio State are in position where they just have to close it. You're right there. You're knocking on the door. The door is open. You just got to walk right through, Justin Fry. Do it. Do it. Bacardi and Cola. Do it. Do it. Anyway, there are probably a few weeks to go before anyone gets an answer from David Sanders, and a decision may not come until August. He definitely wants to do it before his senior football season starts, but Ohio State feels it's exactly where it needs to be in his recruitment. So the staff's feeling good. Tennessee seems to be the other challenger right now. I don't know if Clemson's in it anymore. I don't think. South Carolina, maybe a little, but Tennessee and Ohio State seem to be the leaders right now. But the Buckeyes feel good. I feel good. Do you feel good? Do you feel good about David Sanders? Hit me in the chat. Hit me in the comments. Do you think we land David Sanders? Yes or no? Thank you. Hello. All right, Dorian Brew. Let's move on to another 5-star, 5-star to 5-star. So this weekend, the Buckeyes staff and Dorian Brew were able to reconnect with him and his family. That was necessary after a few months of things. The Buckeyes didn't really have a lot of momentum going in Dorian's recruitment. So Brew's recruitment has shifted back in a positive direction back in May for the Buckeyes, helped out by the decommitment of Blake Woodby, because he was the third. That's 3 corners, and Brew was like, I don't see a spot for me, you know. But anyways, even though there's always a spot for a 5-star corner / safety. But anyways, all the remaining questions were answered this weekend. Texas and USC are going to continue fighting for Brew, but Ohio State's hoping to move quickly and lock up this 5-star cornerback class. The biggest issue right now might be the idea that Brew is a third corner, quote unquote third. Ohio State's been very clear, though. Being the third corner in the class doesn't make you the third best. That's not how they view him. So Brew's athletic profile and traits are extremely high level. He's only begun to scratch the surface of his potential. The national rankings of Devin Sanchez and Naeem Offord, 1 and 2, aren't going to dictate what happens with Brew's development and his playing time in Columbus at all. So only his commitment and his work ethic will determine how high he can fly. Now, NIL is going to play a role in this recruitment. Texas, Oregon, USC, they're all being more aggressive than Ohio State in the NIL game. But there's optimism that the Buckeyes can win out in the end. So I'm feeling good about Landon Brew. Mom is in the Ohio State Athletics Hall of Fame. She was a gangster on the track. So dad played at LSU. I know that, but they're not even a player in this game. So that cancels out. I think it's going to come down to USC and Ohio State, but I'm feeling good for the Buckeyes. All right, let's go to more Alabama prospects. We just talked about Zion Grady's commitment yesterday, but Ohio State took its best and biggest swing at the four-star defensive lineman from Alabama, Malik Autry and Zion Grady. Buckeyes got the commitment from Grady on Monday. Hell yes. Everybody in Buckeye Nation rejoices. Now, it's going to be a really hard flip for Malik Autry, currently committed to Auburn. He basically lives in Auburn's backyard and has a family full of Auburn fans. What a disgruntled lot they must be. But Hugh Freeze, he got that early commitment from Autry, and there's a way to go in order to keep Autry is interested in Ohio State. But that battle will continue to be uphill even after a great official visit weekend. Now, speaking of Alabama prospects, Naeem Offord, mentioned earlier, was at Ohio State for his official visit this weekend. There's been a lot of smoke around Alabama, Oregon, some other schools in the last few weeks, but this weekend should quiet a lot of that chatter for the time being. No one believes Offord or his family are on the fence with this recruitment. Playing the recruiting game has been fun for Offord, but it would be a major surprise if there was a change in his commitment to LSU. So OSU. What the fuck? Why would I say LSU? Something in my eye. My finger. Oh. No, anyway. So yeah. Offord's a Buckeye. I'm not worried. Case closed. Move along. So is there another in-state commitment coming soon? I say yes. Ohio State got the commitment from in-state offensive lineman Jake Cook on Sunday. Can't talk today, sorry. There could be a decision coming soon from Cleveland three-star tight end Brody Lennon as well. Lennon spent the weekend at Ohio State after being at Kentucky a week ago. The primary goal this weekend was to get more comfortable around the Ohio State players, coaches, recruits, obviously. He especially needed to spend time and connect with tight end commit Nate Roberts because they're the only two in this class. So there were a lot of questions that needed to be answered. Were not a lot of questions that needed to be answered for Lennon, but the few questions there were, those have been answered. Like, what's my path to playing time? What's the path? What's the plan? Shit like that. The Buckeyes aren't going to be pushy and demand an answer quickly. So they look to have their second tight end in the class locked up. It's just a matter of when he wants to commit, really. All right, let's finish up here with Jordon Davison, top-ranked running back in the class. And this is looking like a three-team race. It's been a lot of discussion in the last few weeks around Jordon Davison. Most of it has been about Ohio State, Oregon, and Michigan, the Cheaters, as they are known on this show. The Cheaters have two backs who aren't really a threat to Davison. They took a flyer over the weekend on a guy, Donovan Johnson. He's coming off a torn ACL. And the Cheaters are working really hard to get any PR win they can on the Buckeyes. Obviously, by taking Alford, by taking Aaron Dunstan, the recruiting girl, they are just loving it, even though that it's not paying dividends for them anyways. But so they're willing to hand out the big NIL bags, the biggest they can anyways. So just like Oregon, they're going to do the same. But Alabama shouldn't be entirely discounted here. Kalen DeBoer has some good momentum going. He's put together a very solid offensive line class, including new commit Micah DeBose that happened over the weekend. So the Buckeyes and the Ducks seem to have the best relationship with Jordon Davison. So that's why I think it's an Ohio State versus Oregon battle again. But Ohio State wants its third running back. We talked about that a million times. They've had Jordan at the top of their board for a long time. If Jordan wants in, it's his spot. If he wants to give it up and give it to somebody else, so be it. But there are other options. Okay. And we already have two running backs in this class. So if he picks the Buckeyes, the staff will be more than happy to know that all the time and effort has paid off. He's a great kid. He'd be a great fit at Ohio State. His recruitment has become kind of hard to read recently. He's not talking at all, things like that. But again, if he picks another school, there are options. So Ohio State would like a decision soon, and it looks like Davison is ready to make it. Rumors are that he's getting tired of the recruiting process. Think about flying back and forth from LA to Ann Arbor, LA to Columbus, and then up to Oregon. Oregon's not exactly close. So he's not interested in game playing or anything like that. So this one should be over one way or another very soon. Currently, the Buckeyes are sitting on 19 commits, and they still want to add 3 offensive linemen, 1 receiver at least, maybe 2, a tight end, a running back, and 1 or 2 DBs, 2 D linemen, and a linebacker. So we are, if we land all of those numbers, we're going to be sitting at about a 30-man recruiting class, which Ohio State has never had. So I'm all for it. I've been asking for it for years. So anyways, please hit the like button on this video. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the bell if you're feeling really nuts. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Go Bucks.